wife doesn't make me do anything.
Yeah?
Oh.
Jen.
I run that family.
She's here today. You know that, right? Welcome to the Bar Talk Podcast. I am Jordan Shabbat of the Speedwell Tavern, joined once again by Mr. Dan Mahoney.
What's up?
And we have our special guest back, unless we do the episodes out of order, I'm sorry. But we have Jess Hamill today from the Jetty.
Woohoo! Hi.
And we have the honor, distinct pleasure of welcoming back Mr. Heine himself, Karl Heine of the New World Tavern.
Hello, everybody.
And she doesn't want to be seen or heard, but Jen Heine is also here.
Hello.
Beautiful radio
That was so
voice.
sensual.
Goes with the porn stash.
I got some shit on my lip. Yeah, but keep the poop thing.
I was just going to say.
And today we're just going to answer some of your questions. You guys keep firing them at us, and the inbox is getting a little full. So we're just going to do our best to give you the worst advice you could possibly get from your hospitality focus group, the Bar Talk Podcast. Kick it off, Fish.
Alrighty, so our first question is from Roy Hernish. Hey guys, we're looking at adding White Claw to our bottles list, but only one flavor. Which sells best? Thinking mango?
Mango, baby. It's
Mango.
gotta be
Yeah,
mango.
Yeah.
it's the mango. Yeah.
Black cherry.
Well, if they had black cherry in 12-pack... Oh, no, they do now. You can get... don't get me started on White Claw. I'm
Oh
obsessed.
my God. Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws,
Yep.
Ain't
Jordan.
no law,
Well,
baby.
is
Claw
so
and
this
order.
is a bar we're talking about, right?
Yeah, I'd assume so.
All right, so you're in a bar, and you order the spiked seltzer, which is all the rage.
White Claw.
Do you really care
No.
what that seltzer is?
No.
Like
I'm a connoisseur.
I mean,
flavor
I-
or brands?
What
like,
year?
Brand.
Brands, for the most part, I don't care. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I like White Claw.
I mean, you might like
I have a preference,
brands.
but-
There might be preference,
Yeah.
but you're not saying, "Oh, it's truly no, thank you." I'll
Right,
get
Yeah,
something
yeah.
else.
exactly. Yeah, well, okay. So if I want a seltzer, whatever they have, then I choose whatever flavor it is. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, if they are like, oh, we only have White Claw, like we have lime, black cherry, and mango, I'm gonna go with mango.
Yep.
But like if they have Truly, then yeah, I mean either way you're getting it, no matter what. I
Right.
mean, either
It's
way,
like Coke or Pepsi.
it's
So it
just-
doesn't exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And people still ask, but they always get it. Do you have Coke or Pepsi products? We have
Right.
Coke. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'll
you
have
get the
a
random
Sprite.
douchebag that says nah.
They don't make Jack and Pepsi, bro. I hate that guy.
Do you have Mr. Pibb?
Oh, I hate that. That's the same guy that orders for his wife. Like, I
Oh
hate
God,
that guy.
yep. Mhm.
Ugh.
But why would you only have one flavor though? That's my question.
I'll tell you why you should have one flavor. Because it's genius. Because you got Joe Schmo walking up to the bar, and he says, "I'll have a spiked seltzer." And you say, "Oh, okay. Well, I've got," and you list off all your flavors. Oh, I didn't know you had many. Yeah, is the mango any good? Meanwhile, I've got 15 other customers at the bar that are waiting on me.
And then they turn around and
this-
like, hey, what
and
do
this
you
guy's
want? Oh,
trying
what
to-
do you want?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
what
got
do you want?
Mr. Macho drinking a spiked
Yeah.
seltzer, and he can't figure out if he wants mango or pineapple.
Well, I don't know what kind of mood I'm in.
So
I
this
had
is what you
mango
say.
yesterday.
Okay, so here's the
So what
black
you do is they
cherry
come up and
today.
say, "I'll take a spiked seltzer," and you say, "Okay."
And if you had the lime...
but we do that at the Jetty. We don't ask. We just we have like all the flavors of Truly, and they say, "I'll take a Truly." We just grab whatever's closest in the fridge, and we just give it to them.
Right.
Not one single person has ever complained all summer.
I kind of like that grab bag
Carl hasn't been
experience.
there yet.
Well, we don't have mango, so don't come. Don't
I'm
come
low
to Jetty.
maintenance when I'm a customer.
Yeah.
Low maintenance.
But that's the thing. People just don't care. They don't care.
No,
just
a
give
good
them the
way of
spike
finding
seltzer.
out.
So you can
and
call
just-
it White Claw,
What's this guy's
Truly,
name? Herman
Seagrams.
Hunt? Something?
No.
His name is Roy.
Roy,
Roy.
you close?
Roy.
No.
So, Roy, what I would do is, with the White Claws, and trust me, I'm an expert, get the mix pack, right, and do what Jess says, and then just run that for a little while, and just kind of give people whatever.
Yeah.
And then see which ones you're stuck with at the end of a couple weeks, and don't order that flavor.
So we used to do that at the BBC when we first started ordering spike seltzers, whatever the brand was, I don't remember. But yeah, we would order the variety pack, and then whatever one that we were left over with, we're like, we know not to buy those ones.
Right.
And then we would just pick whatever the most selling one was, and just
Yep.
run with that.
I mean,
Like,
the
one or
correct
two.
answer is mango. So
It is
I mean,
mango.
it
to
is,
answer your
but-
question,
Three
in the
both
mango
hands, like
brand?
Wolverine. Like
Now-
you said earlier.
Oh, God.
Now, is that just a fad too, or is that here to stay?
I think it's here to
a
stay.
couple years now.
Some
I know, yeah.
variation.
Yeah.
I
And
do.
It seems stronger this year than it was last
Absolutely.
year.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
people are like, breweries are starting to make like craft versions
Yeah.
of it and
Yep.
stuff. Now that's when you know it's going to be around for a little while.
Yeah.
When like brewers are like, oh, that's not stupid. Like I think I should do that too. It's the gluten-free thing.
Yeah.
It's the carb
Yeah,
conscious, the keto thing.
But these local breweries aren't making it because they want to.
they make it because they want to make
Yeah.
money.
That's
Exactly.
right. They're
Yeah.
making it because they think they
Well,
can
what
make
has
a
more
buck.
staying power than profit?
You ever met a brewer? What brewer ever says, "No, I want to make money," not, "Oh, well, I want to make my milkshake IPA. You know, they're not going to say, "Hey, I want to make a seltzer."
Yeah. Well, it's funny that we're talking about seltzers because, like, what, 3 of us are drinking them right now? We've all
Yeah,
been drinking
kinda,
seltzers
yeah,
this
and I had
morning.
what you
Cider,
had.
seltzer, whatever.
I want mimosa.
That's why the guy that invented Zima was way before his time.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a shame because that's essentially what this is Zima. Zima had a good run though.
It's gonna come out though. He's like the brainchild behind one of these.
Yeah.
I feel like they got bought and rebooted like eight years ago.
They did like
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Did they? And
couple
Yeah,
It
remember
was
they,
only- it was
they did
fairly
that big
recently,
drop and
yeah.
everywhere sold out of them. So it was
Yep.
like, oh god, Zima's back.
Yeah.
They got to come back and they got to do it in these little cigarette cans like the Spike Seltzer's doing and stuff.
There was actually a meme where it was like, you know, the Scooby-Doo and like they pull like the who's really under this mask thing. And
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a Zima pulling up a mask of a white claw. Like, that's exactly what it was.
The
All right,
original.
so listen, to answer the question, Mango.
I already answered.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say
it's
mango's your best bet.
All right, next question. Let's go.
Okay, next question is from John McDonald. Hey, Karl. So, if you guys are part of an industry couple, do you tip your SO?
Say that to me slow.
If you're part of an industry couple, do you tip your significant other?
Just the tip.
Always.
That's a perfect question. The fact that we have the Heine's here today. That's a
yeah.
good one. So when you've been doing a lot more bartending, Karl, and I hear you're great at it. Jen, do you ever go in and patronize his bar while he's working the bar? Or
No, he's way too stressed.
yeah.
But no. That's a good question. It's a good question.
You're
I
just
would say-
recycling your own money.
Well, people
Yeah,
are
I
different.
mean-
Most people are different from me. So
That's an understatement.
I think it depends on how you run your household. Some households are run, my bank account, this is mine, I pay these bills, this is your bank account, this is. So if there's separate accounts, then I think the significant other would assume or hope that you or expect that you're going to tip them out. I think is if you run it as a bucket that you're going to be splitting between the two of you, then it doesn't matter.
Right. It's irrelevant.
I think it all depends on your relationship level too.
Right.
So somebody actually sent in a question saying, "Do I tip my wife?" Was that the question?
It also goes to everyone else, too. Like, it's not just
Not
Karl.
just for
Right.
you.
No,
'Cause you're
no,
basically
listen.
working with another bartender.
Fish through in the Carl just to
Right,
get your
yeah.
attention.
I
Yeah.
see the question.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed.
Right,
I'm
right,
like
right,
lazy
yeah.
zoning out.
Like it started out, hey, Karl, it's not just he.
Yeah.
He cares,
Yeah. Everybody else
he
can answer
cares
as well.
about Dan, too.
When Yun and I first started dating, it was because I met her because she was a patron at the bar that I ran, and I was bartending a lot at the time. And when she did come in, I'd always buy her drinks because I was trying to get with her, and she would always tip me heavily. But we weren't really an item yet. Once we were, I was like, don't do
Yeah.
that. Like I'd buy her drinks, but I'd be like, no, like don't do that.
So
Yeah.
you're saying if the wife comes in as a customer?
Yes.
Or if,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I thought if you were both bartending the shift.
well, no, that'd
why
be
would you
weird.
tip?
No, because then
That's what I thought.
You're
You
both
tip them
behind
out
the
at
bar
the
with
end of
the
the
Oh,
night.
I see what you're saying.
So yeah, so if Jen was the server and I was the bartender
Gotcha.
because I'm the
yeah.
guy.
Or if, like, you know,
Then
Right.
I guess
right.
it doesn't really matter.
Then
Right,
it doesn't really.
doesn't-
That's what I
yeah.
had thought they
Oh,
meant.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you're saying if you're going in,
well, yeah, if you're
well,
working
first of all,
and they
if
come
I'm
in, yeah.
if I'm working the bar and Jen comes in for a drink and I charge her for the drink, she's going to punch me in the face.
Right.
Oh, never mind the
Right.
tip.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to get paid for the drink.
But you own the place too,
Right,
and like
that's
we're and
different.
everyone sitting here is like a general manager, so like you have the authority to do that. But if you were just a bartender and it wasn't, and I don't know that I've really been in that position.
No, I-
where you're just
So-
and it's not your money, like you're taking money out of your
Yeah.
tip jar to buy the person a drink, and
Right.
like
I think
that's a little different.
I think you would if you were dating and you wanted to impress whoever
right.
was bartending. You're like, oh, he's so cute. I'll tip him $1.50.
Right.
So my
But-
boyfriend's actually a bartender. So when I go in and have a drink, you know, I used to try and give him money, and he would always push it back. He would say, no, don't tip me. And so we're fairly new to dating. We don't live together. We don't have joint bank accounts. But he's just like, I'm like, no. Like, you served me. Like, I'm paying for your service like I would anybody else.
Right.
And he's just like, no, you can, no, don't worry about it. You can, whatever. Like, just keep it. So that's, you know,
That's
just
the way I
another-
was.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but is he
You know?
alone behind the bar, or
Yeah, I think that's the
no,
other
Because
thing.
that's-
no, usually, well,
because if you're by
sometimes.
yourself, yeah, whatever. But
Right.
if you're
pooling
if you got
tips.
somebody
Right.
else that you're pulling
Right.
tips with,
So for a
You're
little while
kinda
too,
hosing
I
her.
would go
Yeah.
to the other bartender and I would give the tip to them, and he
Yeah.
wouldn't know. So, like,
Yeah.
you know, if so facto, he was getting tipped by me. But, I just spilled the beans. I didn't know. My plan is ruined. But I mean, yeah. So I tried, and then now I just don't
Yeah, but
even-
that's you're trying
right,
to tip him.
right. And he's just not.
So, yeah, the
he's
question is,
sliding it back and saying,
Do
no.
you even offer that tip?
I don't know.
Right.
Is that like a weird? I'm gonna try to do this without coming across as short-minded, but is that like a chivalry thing? Like, I want to know from the other perspective where the girl's bartending and the guy comes in, because I think in general, guys, just the way I was raised, are more forceful in paying for this.
Sure.
No, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, so when I used to bartend at T-Bones, I met my now ex-husband there, and he would tip me, and when we were dating, I would take it. So yeah, okay,
It's a little different.
It is a
I don't know
little
why it's different.
yeah,
It shouldn't be different,
right.
but it is because there is that almost.
Well, that leads into the whole men-women's question that you guys won't let me talk about.
Yeah, no, we're
Different
still not going-
podcast.
Still not
And
talking about
I got nervous. I got nervous flirting with that because I know you're sitting in here.
yeah,
But I almost I feel like if it was the other way around, if I went in, and that were times where Yun was waitressing at a place. I never had her as like a server. She was a server while I was sitting at the bar and stuff like that, but they all pooled, and I would over-tip the bartender because I knew some of it was
She was
going to
gonna go
her.
Sure.
Right, so it's like a weird sort of dynamic there too. Where I'm all for chivalry, man. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, like it is what it is. But I call it old school, but that's just how
Yeah.
I roll. But
But then later on down the road when me and him lived together, we were together. He wouldn't tip me.
Right.
Because same bank account,
Yeah,
same thing.
you're
it's
paying
like
the same
kinda-
bills.
yeah.
So it's
I
just
guess
silly.
it's depending on the situation. Yeah.
right, yeah, there's a lot of different ways. So
A lot
that's
of
actually it started off as like a question. I was just like, why would
So,
you
yeah,
ask
but
that?
now it's
But once
actually,
you really
yeah.
dive
So
into
the
it,
answer to that question is there really isn't any answer to that.
no,
Right,
there's no answer.
yeah.
You do what you
Different
you
strokes
do
for
it.
different folks.
Exactly. Yeah. If you try and they reject it, then
That's
whatever.
They reject you.
Aw.
All right, I'm having mic issues. So this question comes from Matthew Sandy, and this is very deep. Al Bundy is your bartender. What is the first drink you ask him to make?
Oh, the Polkai Punch. 5 touchdowns, 1 game. Polkai Punch.
Is that a real drink, or are you just making
No,
that
I
up?
just know that's what high school he went to, and I'm assuming he'd have a drink up his sleeve.
It's gonna be on the Speedwell menu
Al,
next week.
yeah.
Al Bundy is a bartender. First of all, I would never leave that bar. Because
You'd never get served, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, go on YouTube and look up Al Bundy's best. You want to be sexually insensitive? Go on YouTube and watch Al Bundy's best burns of all time, and hear what he says to Marcy through like 8 or 9 seasons. It's he's the quickest, funniest freaking guy of all time, but it's so inappropriate. He'd be the best bartender
I
ever.
love it.
What would you order? I equate it to probably going to Karl's bar. It's like the same thing.
wow. I had my hand in my pants once. And now they're calling me Al
That's
Bundy.
That's all it
Thumb
takes
out.
is one. That's
Jesus.
all it takes.
That wasn't my thumb.
What's wrong with Al Bundy? You're just getting a beer. That's it.
Yeah, it's gonna
Right,
be beer.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a shoe salesman. He's got to be a pretty good bartender, right? Got to sell shoes to people all day. Like,
I mean, just because you can sell stuff doesn't mean you're a good
Yeah,
bartender.
it's true. Maybe he would serve you beer in a shoe.
he'd be
Yeah.
a miserable bartender, but he would.
Wouldn't that be like
I know
boot?
plenty of those.
Yeah,
Das Boot.
done.
Done.
Sold.
Answer done. He's going to work at a German bar. Yeah, selling boots.
Sold.
Working at your bar.
I'll get a Martin.
Alrighty, so this question is from Jessica Williams. Hey guys, so have you ever kicked someone out only to have them try and return in a different colored shirt?
So,
Yes, I have. I had this person return in 3 different
I was
shirts.
just about to say.
I love this story.
Tell it.
But yeah, I was working one night and this guy came in and he was a disaster walking in the door, so I told him no. He left, came back in a different shirt, and I was like, I still know who you are. You can't have a drink.
You still have the same
Leaves,
face.
comes back in wearing another shirt with a plastic bag full of nips, saying, I'm just going to go upstairs. I was like, no, you're not. You still can't be in here. I still know it's you. Then he walked in again, and I said, just get the fuck out.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
And he told me he'd wait for me outside to fight me. And
Nice.
then promptly got arrested because
I
he
like
told the
that a
cops the
lot.
same thing.
You know, I spent 2 nights in jail because of that.
Trying to fight me? Yeah.
Trying.
You're lucky.
Only trying.
That story is, I remember the next day, you ran over and you couldn't wait to tell me that fucking story.
Oh, man.
That's unbelievable.
Well, what about a no shirt? Because I had that happen. There was a guy that came in with no shirt, and he was hammered. This was actually probably only a couple weeks ago, and he was. Oh man, he was.
Well,
he literally just looked like he got like returned from aliens from outer space. Like he had dreads.
He washed
was
up on shore.
barefoot. He was barefoot with no shirt on. He walks into the jetty. Now I know we're like a beach place, but like you need clothing,
Right.
So
Yeah.
he walks in, and he sits down, and he tries to order a beer. And my bartender's like, you don't have shoes and a shirt on, so I can't serve you. And he goes, well, it's in my car. And then they're like, all right, then go get it.
Right.
And they're like, well, the car is like down the street. And he's like, all right, then go get it. So he left and came back with the shoes, but no shirt. And we were like, well, where's the shirt? And he's like, well, I don't have one. And we were like, well, we can't say. He was all sorts of whacked out. So then he did finally come back in the shirt, and we just went, yeah, we're still not serving you. Like, the fact that you came in 3 times, like, no.
Now he's got no pants.
And then I got a shirt but no pants. Does that work? No, not that.
You didn't say anything about pants.
But he actually went across the street. Well, he went across the street and was standing outside a different restaurant. He was like screaming, like whatever, in the middle of the street. I'm like, this guy's gonna get hit. And then sure enough, he didn't get hit. But the cops came and arrested him.
God.
No, but they like had to like literally
Nonchalantly
go
just gotta
right
run the
up
fuck
to
over.
him, like
Yeah.
literally, like almost like had to like quarter him in with a cop car, and they ended up arresting him. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, so that's and not even just different shirt, but like they'll try and like put a hat on and like
Yep.
maybe sunglasses. Like you still have the same face. Dude.
Yeah.
Big mustache.
I still get you.
Right. How much that mustache cost you?
Like mine takes us that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And then all of a sudden you turn around like an hour later after yelling at this guy a bunch of times, you realize it's 4 different guys just wearing we're quadruplets. What the fuck, man?
Woo, my brother's an asshole. You get it.
but yeah, no, people try anything to get back in. Anything. They'll do pretty much anything.
If they applied that motivation to be like less crappy as people,
Yeah.
then they'd be just fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
running fucking Fortune 500 companies and stuff. Try just as hard.
You got a full wardrobe in your car just in case you get kicked out of the
yeah,
bar?
right.
Well,
yeah.
no, the best part, this guy I kicked out definitely wasn't like driving anywhere. Like he
Yeah.
was like borderline
Yeah.
homeless.
Oh, okay.
Like where you keep all this?
Well, there's actually
Where'd your carriage get parked?
there was
Like,
another time it was fairly recently too. Now we have a cover charge on the weekends for bands for Fridays and Saturdays at the Jetty.
Yep.
So this guy left, changed whatever. I forget if it was just a shirt or I think he wasn't wearing a hat, so he put a hat on too. And he came back in and paid the cover charge twice just to try and get back in.
And he was like, no, we're still not serving you.
That's
So he
awesome.
tricked the bouncer, but not the bartender.
Well, no, because like I think like we had 2 bouncers, so
So
like
sorry.
one guy, like whatever, and I was like, wow, so we took your money twice, and we're still not giving you a beer. Like,
Think
Best-
about like being
best
in
water
that
in
mindset.
town.
yeah,
If somebody kicks me out of a place, I'm like, fuck you. I don't want to spend money there. Then.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's only happened a couple times this
I mean,
week.
but you can like bounce anywhere else around here in Plymouth and
Right.
Marshfield. It's literally like a Bermuda Triangle, unless you want to get in your car and drive somewhere else.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess I could see the struggle. But
Yeah, you're going to see
Yeah.
more of that over
Yeah,
there for
yeah.
sure. Good stuff.
So yeah, that's definitely happened.
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty, moving on to a question from Courtney Bauman. Courtney asks, hey, I am very new to bartending. Only been slinging drinks for about a month and a half. Any good tips for beginners?
We've done this before.
Yeah, I
haven't
was
we?
gonna
Yeah,
say.
I'm trying to think the least mean tips I've offered.
Why?
So
I mean, she seems like she's
Yeah.
at least trying.
So when I
Not
first
that I
started,
can't talk to people.
Right, that's
but
true. Yeah. When I first started bartending, it was by accident, literally. So I was working at the Crow's Nest, which no longer exists, which is where Waterfront Bar and Grill is now.
Okay.
And it was a dive bar when I worked there. And some girl just didn't show up for her shift. And my owner comes down. He's like this short little stocky man, and his arms sticking out, like walking down the
Yes.
stairs. And he goes, "Hey, Jess." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like 19 at the time. You want to learn how to bartend? I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh, no.
It was like
no.
it was like November. I mean, it was like dead anyway, like whatever. So how I learned to bartend was this couple used to come in every Sunday, and they would take the bartending book, like that, just that
Yep.
book that everybody has
The
on the
black
bar.
book.
Yep, and they would flip through the pages, and they would put their finger on it, like they'd just flip through blindly, put their finger on the drink. If I had the ingredients to make it, I would make it.
Wow.
And then they would say, next time a little more of this, a little less of that, like whatever. And that's how I learned how to bartend.
That's like the last person you want at the bar.
Right,
I was gonna
But
say-
I can see in that situation.
That only works
Yeah.
for 19-year-old bartenders because if you come do that to someone else that's been working, like, I'll throw the
I
book at
guess
you.
just like, I don't know, like you just learn by doing. But
Yes.
like,
That's it, yeah.
I guess like, without trying to spend too much money of your owner's liquor and whatever, like, just read up on stuff. You
Right.
know, the Google machine is really great. I mean, there's stuff that I'm learning to this day.
Right.
The best kind of homework is bartender's homework.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or you work from home.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
practice at home, practice makes perfect. Like you said, just doing.
Look
kinda-
up all the stuff that like you would either normally get ordered or like new stuff that people are ordering, and just look it up. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know. That's kind of and that's how I learned how to mix. So like when I would in previous years when I would make martinis, people would be like, "I want something that tastes like this," and I would go, "Okay."
Right.
And I wouldn't even need to ask any more questions, and I'd be able to make them something that would exactly what they
You flex
were
that
thinking.
muscle through going through that book. So you,
right,
yeah.
So we used, and then like over the years, like every bartender that I know has always had a book of just handwritten down things that they've known, and it's always kept behind the bar. So just doing your own like physical research, I think, is
Right.
probably the best way, because otherwise you're going to get caught with your pants down if somebody orders something behind the bar and you're behind the bar and you don't know what
especially
to
these
do.
Well,
yeah.
so counterpoint though, you can fake it till you make it. Like,
Right, but she's only 1 month in. You learn to fake it till you make it.
Well, that's part of
A
it.
little bit longer, and
Some people don't have that natural talent. Like,
That is
you can order a drink and there's 17 different ways to make it, and if someone's like, "This is how I am," I'm like, "Sorry, that's how we make it here."
Yeah,
like,
right,
you're just-
yeah, that's
just
true.
Confidence in
That's true.
right.
They're
I
wrong.
have a bartender at the Jetty, and she had never. When I first started working there, she could have fooled me. She had never bartended before. She just literally came into her interview and she went, "I should bartend," and she like totally gave this persona like, fake it till you make it. I have confidence. I have all this stuff. She's actually one of my best bartenders. She's been working there for about a year now. Confidence, and you fake it till you make it.
Yep.
And even to this day, she's like, whatever, and like she
Right.
just like makes whatever, and she kills it because her personality and her confidence comes through.
That's it.
And she could absolutely know nothing, and
Right.
she just like
Well, the trick is
slide
most
that
people
drink
coming
down
in
the
don't
bar
know
and-
anything either. So.
right.
I was going to
It's
say
true.
that.
It's
just
so
be more
100%
confident than your
true.
clientele, and they're going to grab
Yeah.
your belt loop.
Yeah,
and,
that's
and
true. Well,
follow
somebody
you.
came in last night and they ordered a gin and tonic, and then they said make it with Bacardi. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
and that's it. Like half the time,
Right. So they don't know what they're drinking.
no one
So
knows
if
what
you
they're
don't-
drinking. They're drinking. That's the thing. It's like
exactly.
they're
They
drunk
don't
when
care.
they're most of the time they're drinking.
So,
So,
yeah.
I did a project with my cousin Jared, who is like quintessential, love him to death, biggest heart of gold, but he is quintessential like Fall River, fucking tough guy. You just hear him talking, it's like it's Jared Shabbat. But he used to help me out with like random projects at Speedwell. This is just going to like the clientele not really knowing what they're talking about. So he'd come over and he just started, he'd do shots of Patron, and give me more Patron, give me more Patron, guy. So I'd give him Patron. And we were out of Patron. I was bartending one day. He's like, give me some more of that Patron. I go, I don't have Patron. I have other tequila. He goes, I don't want tequila. I want Patron. And I'm just like, Jared, okay. Here's a shot of Bacardi. I don't want fucking tequila. Give me that Patron stuff.
you got that Jose Cuervo guy?
Yeah.
Love you, Jared.
So to answer the question, just do your research, I guess.
Fake
I
it.
mean, and have enough confidence to know that
I think confidence
you
is
Confidence
exude
is-
that
yeah.
confidence that,
Nailed
like,
it.
even if you
You
mess
can
up
learn
a little
everything
bit,
else. Yeah.
just put it down in front of them like you didn't mess up.
Don't admit you're wrong.
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Like to a degree.
Stand your ground, yeah.
If you're like obviously wrong, then you got to
Yeah.
be like, where's my head today?
Yeah.
My fault. How
Yep.
would you like it made? I'm
Right.
sorry. This is how someone else likes it.
And
made.
yeah, and
You know,
there
like-
is actually nothing wrong with asking if you've
Right.
never heard of something before. Like, I'm sorry, like I haven't quite made that yet. Like, because then 9 times out of 10, like it's actually a preference for the customer.
right.
Like, say for random instance, like they order a Cosmo and this girl hasn't made a Cosmo yet. Like, oh, I'm sorry, what's in it? That's a huge preference thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe they want it with citron vodka, maybe they want it with something else. Like
Good
they
point.
don't know. So it's okay to ask. You
Right.
know?
It's like getting a haircut. Like you're not just going to sit in someone's barber chair and be like, cut it. You know what I mean? Like just cut my
if you
hair.
go to a good barber,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Give me that good bowl.
But you've been there before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My barber I went to first time was like, cut my
Oh,
hair.
I'm sorry.
Go to a
man.
barber. Clearly, you need a
I go
haircut.
to Supercuts. Yeah.
Yeah, then you gotta
Yeah,
give him a
it's
YouTube video
noticeable.
on how you want it to cut.
Okay, I look good.
Bad analogy.
It's a hell of a hat, Jordan.
things.
Yeah.
Okay, so this question comes from Bill Donovan. So, as tipped employees trying to save every penny payment for a down... Yeah. Let's try that sentence and put all the words in the right
Oh,
place.
so you're getting the names right. You're
I was
getting
just
the
about to
answers.
compliment you.
I was
on
gonna say,
doing a
yeah.
better
The
job.
names I got great. The questions, yeah. So, yeah, as tipped employees trying to save every penny for a down payment for a house, what are your favorite ways to save a large amount in a short amount of time?
I love that everybody does the water jug. So you
I
just
was just
shove
about
your
to
cash
say,
in
yeah.
the water jug.
That's what I used to do.
and you can't get it out.
Yep.
Yep.
Right, yeah, you can't.
no,
Actually,
it's-
and you really can't when you need to go to the bank and change it all in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 45 minutes trying to lift a 97-pound jug of
Yep.
loose change. That,
Yeah. So when I used to work at San Diego's, which is right next door, we weren't allowed to change in our coins, which was fine because we would just flip, we'd flip quarters for it. Mm-hmm. And over a course of a year, I had one of those big giant water jugs, and it was over $2,000.
Crazy.
And every now and then, I'd shove $1 in there, like whatever.
Yep.
But like it was mostly all coins.
Crazy.
And I don't save, I don't bartend much anymore, so I don't have like coins coming up the wazoo, but I still have like a little thing, and every now and then it's like $500.
Huge.
Yeah, it's huge. So like I used to my friends used to make fun of me because whenever we go out, I would pay exact change because I'd be like, well, the bartender or the server's getting a full dollar tip. So
Right.
in my head, like I'm like they're not getting $4 in change, they're getting the full $5, right?
Right.
So now I'm like, I just throw down an extra buck because I'm like, I'm going to keep the change because I put it in my. So that would be, and I'd actually just bought a house in October, so I will
Congrats.
say
From her change jar.
Huge.
I did,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was a really cheap
$2,000.
house. It's just a little hut on the side of the road. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, I would say that's a good way to do it. I know a lot of bartenders that save their bundles of ones
Yep.
and put them in a shoebox or whatever, a safe. Probably better than a shoebox. But you
Right.
know, like if you're bartending, you save like one stack of. Some of them even do a stack of 5s.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my suggestion.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. Like,
Exactly.
Just, like no,
put it
like,
somewhere, literally. where you
round up
can't-
or round down. If you've got $212 one night from tips, take that $12, put it
Yep.
in a jar,
Mhm.
and then if you're bartending 4 or 5 nights a week, that's going to add
Yeah,
up. You
it
might
really
get $100
is.
a week sometimes on
Yeah.
that.
So that's the long-term play. The quickest play, put it all on black.
I don't really know if everybody in the universe is a gambling man like you, Dan, but yeah. I don't know.
Has that worked for you?
I mean, there's no quick way to do it. Like,
Yeah.
there's-
Right.
yeah, it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Pick up a
I mean, it'll
bartending
take-
shift and delegate that specific. If you can pick up another shift a week, and that extra shift,
Sure.
all that money goes right towards
Sure.
it.
Yeah, so say you work 4 days a week, you pick up the 5th shift.
Yep.
That 5th shift is going to go specifically towards your house fund.
Correct.
I mean, there's
and
that
if it's
one too,
$200
yeah.
a shift in a year, that's $10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
It all,
that too.
it all depends on your timetable.
It's true.
If,
Yeah.
if you got a year or a couple months to spend, do
Yeah.
what they say. If you
Right.
got a month, do what I say. You got a week,
I really don't.
you
know
got to
if we
pay
should
that
do
bookie off.
anything.
Yeah. It's like my kneecaps are getting broken. Right to the casino.
Where's my money, man?
Yeah, you'll be fucked either way.
Alrighty, our next question comes in from Will Witherspoon. Hey kids, anyone know a good way to preserve bar cucumbers longer? Ours seem to last a day.
A day is probably
Yeah,
what you
unless
got.
unless you're cutting it to,
to order. Exactly, and that's the only way. And you cut it to order, and then the next day you cut off that dry piece on the
Yeah.
end, and you just keep.
I mean, you
working
could
at
soak it in water, but that's only going to do so much.
and it's gonna get translucent too. Or you could pickle them and just
Yeah.
do pickles instead.
Ew. Ew.
I wonder.
anything
So if they're
pickled.
using the cucumbers for like some sort of cucumber spritzer, like you're seeing a lot now, those Saint Germain drinks have cucumber in them, stuff like that. Everybody calls it cool as a cucumber. I think like everybody thinks they invented it, but everyone does it. But I wonder if you could though maybe. Since you're putting in liquor anyway, if you could have it sit in that liquor and maybe I think it'll
Well,
still get translucent though.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
Because that I feel like the alcohol would suck the moisture right out even worse.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends on what you're making too. Because like if it's a garnish, then you maybe should be cutting it to order. But if it's like an ingredient in a drink, like simple syrups are the way to go.
I just say, yeah, just
I mean,
you
just
can do a simple
make
syrup.
a simple syrup out of it. That's
Right.
a lot of the drinks that we have right now at my place. Like they're all either purees or simple syrups, just to keep keep it quick, and B, keep it fresh. Like,
Good call.
You can't do any. The muddling thing is kind of
Especially with a cucumber, you got the peel. It's getting that stuck in your straw.
The seeds, you gotta choke on a seed. It's like a little
like,
hazard
right.
asterisk next to the drink. Yeah, may or may not choke on seed. Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm assuming if you're cucumbering drinks, you have a kitchen in your place that also has salads of cucumbers. So I would probably just snipe some
That's
from the
usually
salad
what we would
station.
do.
and
That's
stuff.
what we do with Speedwell.
Yeah.
They just steal our salad cucumbers.
Yeah.
And it's
Sucks
always
for the
while
kitchen,
we have
but-
30
Right.
slips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Can we get
salads.
cucumbers for this drink? Son of a bitch.
Cut your own fucking
Yeah.
cucumber. I'll give you a cucumber.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Sorry,
you would think
Karl's
it'd be
not
an
here
easy
anymore, so-
solution because like cucumbers are like mostly water, but it just ends up making it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, cut to order, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
I would say cut to order or make a simple syrup. I
Yeah.
like Jess's idea. I might steal it.
I'm gonna copyright it first. No, I'm just kidding.
Bring us royalties.
Oh, this poor woman.
Oh, no.
No, our next question comes from the unfortunately named Tiffany J. Hitler.
Oh, no. That ain't real.
I-
It's got to be real.
Two T's.
Because who would fake that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's just guys. Somewhere along the line, you should have had second thoughts.
You can change your name.
yeah, but nope.
Sorry,
They're committed.
Tiff. You got enough problems.
All right, this is kind of a repeat
There's
question,
no question.
but it's mostly for Jess.
Oh.
At this point, who sends their eager newbies on impossible missions? So
Oh,
you guys
just
we
did
I was
that.
gonna
This,
say
I
we
think Dan
just
has.
yeah.
Yep.
I think every episode we've had the last couple of times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a.
Fun newbie abuse is a fun
It's
topic.
so
yeah.
fun.
rice
I actually had one. It wasn't me personally, but I would love to take credit for this, but I won't. But one of my bartenders, when I worked at T-Bones way back in the day, ran up to this new girl and like a panic, and like it was like a Sunday. He's busy. He runs up to her to panic. Goes, "I need you to change the Long Island iced tea, not the iced tea." The Long Island iced tea, right? So she goes running downstairs and she's looking at the soda, like all the soda boxes. She can't find it, and he comes upstairs. She's like, "I really need it. I really need it." He's like, in a panic, right? He's like, "It's the Long Island iced tea, not the regular iced tea." And he's like screaming at her, and she finally comes up, and like, "I don't know." She's like almost in tears. She's brand new, and he's like, "I'm just kidding with you." Like,
Was it Jimmy Agnew?
no, it was not. No,
friend
it
of
was
the
not.
show. First episode ever. He had some fucking good ones.
And then
I
when
know
I
he's
worked
in a lot of places.
when I worked at San Diego's on Cinco de Mayo, which is such a huge day for that place, obviously. One of the poor new barbacks, one of the girls, one of the servers told him that he needed to take the limes out of every Corona bottle before he like brought the empty cases out to the shed.
the fuck?
So he has a butter knife and he's like trying to peel it out.
No.
Yeah, and I walk behind them. Now we're all, we're crazy fucking knee deep. We're crazy busy. I see this poor little kid who I probably need ice from at the time, and I
Right.
walk back and I go, "What the fuck are you doing?" Because so-and-so told me I need to get the limes out. And I go, "You fucking bitch." I was like, "Get me some ice." I was like, Jesus Christ, this poor, like, 17-year-old is prying limes out of a Corona bottle. I'm like,
fucking hate this job.
yeah, you're going to make them quit. I'm like, we
it's
need
so-
them.
It's so gross too. Someone's like drank it. It's all warm and
Right, and, yeah, he had, like, a little pan or something, because, like, when you pour it out, like, all the residual shit. Oh, man, that poor
Fruit flies
kid.
swarming them.
That's one of the best ones I've heard. That's
Yeah.
great.
Oh, that was pretty brutal.
I'm using
I'll
that
never
too.
forget that.
Evil
Yeah.
genius. Yeah.
Cucumber simple syrup.
Yeah. And peeling limes out of
Limes
bottles,
out
yeah.
of Corona bottles.
Although I will say the classic like steam in a bucket thing. There
Yeah,
was one,
bucket of
okay,
steam.
but there was one kid who actually did it. When I worked at the BBC, this kid was smart enough. He was like a genius. I don't know why he was making pizzas, but like he literally came upstairs and opened up the bucket and whoosh, steam came out.
like
And we were
dry
like,
ice or something.
oh shit.
It's like, well, fuck me.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, exactly. And I mean, he didn't really know that necessarily. He kind of thought that maybe it was a joke. Like he didn't
Right.
really know. So like he like after we were all like staring, like befuddled, like what?
How did you
He's
do
like,
that?
Was I like not supposed to do that? I don't know how he did it to this day. I have no idea.
That is awesome.
I don't
Really a
know.
magician.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elon
Yeah,
Musk.
Yeah.
No, there's all sorts of ways to get the newbies.
Steam
love
just
it.
comes out in the shape of a fucking middle finger.
Fuck, where is that kid now?
Or emptying the hot tea machine. right?
Yeah.
Emptying the
The
hot
hot
water
water
off
out of the
out of the. Oh man, we had one kid do it for like an hour. And I wasn't the GM at the time, so I didn't care. And I was like, whatever, you keep doing it. And
You just hit the hot water
right,
button.
yeah. And like my GM comes over, he's like, he's still doing it. Actually, it was Adam Kudo. He just comes over, he's like, he's still doing it. I was like,
Coots.
you're so mean, but that's great. I'm gonna keep letting it go.
Yep.
Like,
The rice peeler was
Yeah.
my favorite. The rice peeler.
this is the glass magnet.
The glass magnet.
Is
Yeah,
that-
that's a classic.
Oop, I worked at
Let's see
Olive Garden. We
another
used to do the cappuccino cookie. And it was the you take
Oh.
the coffee grounds out of the espresso machines. It goes into like a
Yep.
hockey puck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Throw a little whipped cream on it. Anyone knew? I'm like, oh, did you guys try the new dessert?
Stop.
It's the espresso cookie.
Get
or
the
whatever.
fuck out.
Every time, get someone to buy a big fucking hunk of coffee grounds.
Oh, you reuse. Oh,
Yeah.
that's tough.
Literally.
Damn, I gotta step my cruelty game.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's the bigger places that have the meaner jokes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, corporate.
Yeah. But sending somebody elsewhere, didn't you guys say that like you sent somebody to a different restaurant to ask for something
For a bucket of steam, it was Jimmy
okay.
Agnew,
Yeah.
and he sent the
glass
girl
magnets,
to another restaurant for a bucket of steam, and then was like, "Whoa, it's heavy," and gave her a hand truck. So she was like, I guess, moving around downtown Plymouth, going to all these different places, asking for a bucket of steam while holding a hand truck.
Stop.
Yeah, some like poor teenage girl.
Oh no.
Fucking Jimmy, dude.
I love that.
No, it's heavy. You're gonna need this.
Oh my god.
Oh, good God. Okay. All right. So this is coming from Janelle Schrader. Alrighty. When a customer comes up and orders a Jack and Coke, do you ask if they want a single or a double, or you just always assume it's a single?
Always
Of course
assume it's a
assume it's
single.
Yeah.
Well,
Unless you're trying to upcharge.
Right.
We can't in Massachusetts. We can't serve doubles, correct?
Technically not.
Technically not. Yeah.
Mhm. Technically, we're not supposed to, and we don't.
Nope. Never heard of that.
Nope.
I don't know what you're
Double
talking
the
about.
soda.
If I call it, see, here's the deal. We use loopholes around that. If you call it like a Jack and Coke Plus, and it's a completely different drink, then you can do whatever you want. You know
Or a
what I
tall.
mean?
A tall.
A tall.
Yep.
Yeah. Which, by definition, a tall just means more mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I've run into is you gotta. That's something I would ask.
I
Like,
know,
oh, can I
yeah.
get a tall one?
Like,
Well,
what
more
do you
booze.
want? Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I've done
yeah,
it. Both.
yeah. I mean, you could do what a quote unquote rocks pour,
Right.
which
Yeah.
is only just it's not a full double, but it's like a little bit more.
Right.
But no, I wouldn't like just voluntarily be like, "Yo, you want to
Hey, you want to
wink,
get
wink? You want a
fucked up,
double,
buddy?
Yeah, yeah. I know. On a scale of 1 to
You
10,
trying
how
to
much
black
you wanna
out
get
tonight
fucked
or
up?
what?
Yeah. Yeah, you want me to murder
Yeah, I
you
never
with this
offer up
drink,
more
or-
booze to anyone.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah, I'm not like, hey, you want a two
Do you
shots?
want the 100 proof vodka?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just
Yeah.
always a single.
I would
Unless
rather,
they
and
would've
you make
sang
more
and
money
they sue.
too. Like a double, like technically you should be hitting that like Jack Daniels button twice in the computer or
Yeah.
however you do it. But like most places don't do that. They'll like upcharge something a little less than what the cost of the original shot is. In theory, you want to sell more singles than doubles because you can get them to buy the full drink and get
Yeah.
that check average up, and then you're not dealing with someone that's overly drunk. And
Right.
yes, I just wouldn't offer doubles.
No, I mean,
No.
I don't even get the appeal of ordering a double. If you need that much booze, just get a shot.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's
Right,
true.
right.
Like,
And if you don't, if you need like a chaser, if you need like soda, then
yeah,
just get it on the
that.
side.
Because
Right.
it's
Yeah.
double's gonna taste gross, so you're not
Yeah.
doing it for taste. Like,
Yeah, you're doing
I'm
it.
getting
for, like,
goosebumps thinking about it.
I know, right?
Ugh.
You're like burning your throat on the way down.
Especially Jack. Ugh.
Ugh.
All right. Next question comes. No, it's very smooth segue. So our next question comes from Jamie Young. Jamie Young wants to know if anyone has a good solution to fruit flies.
Bleach
A
down the
flamethrower?
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty aggressive, but
so fruit flies are aggressive.
they are. They
I
are.
have a couple tricks, and they've worked. But this is a really good question because the fruit flies came late this year, and they just started
Yeah.
popping up about a week ago.
Yeah, they did actually.
Yeah, so I was taught by friend of the show, and he was a bartender at Spiel for a little while, to pour, Pete Burgess, to pour the old coffee. If you have any coffee on, pour that down your beer drain lines, pour it down your dump sink. Some reason the aromatics are just so strong, the fucking fruit flies, anything that might be nesting in your drain pipes, are turned off by the coffee grinds. If that's too cheap for you and you want to spend a lot of money, You can go on Amazon or you can get it through Cisco Food Service. They sell fruit fly traps.
Yeah.
They're like these little sort of look like air fresheners, and you hang them up. And I swear to God, it's the only thing that works. You hang them
those
above
are the
your
best.
drains,
Yeah.
and they'll work for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You got to keep
That's
swapping
the
them
thing.
out.
Yeah, you got to keep buying
They say
them.
they have
Yeah.
like a 4-month life. They have a
Yeah.
2 week.
Yeah.
But
I
they
mean,
last.
I would pour
They
bleach down the dump sinks or any floor drains. I
Yep.
would pour them down the floor drains
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
covering the drains too helps.
Yeah.
So they won't just fly in there and then
Yep.
because surprisingly you don't see them at night. Like
No.
they go
no.
to bed early.
yeah.
they're
They're
always
not
first thing in the
nocturnal.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're up and at them pretty early. So
Like when you want to kill them, walk around with like a fucking fly swatter. They're nowhere to be found.
Right. You're right. Exactly.
Can't do that when you're open.
Okay, and just out of curiosity, would like a Venus flytrap work on them?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Just line the whole back of the bar
little
with, like
little bar of hearts, dude.
That would be awesome.
line the whole thing with like murder plant. That'd be kind of
Murder
cool.
plant?
That would be pretty cool.
Check out our garden of murder plants. Yeah. Like,
Don't do the vinegar traps though. Everyone
No,
is like,
that-
"Oh, put Saran wrap over a glass of vinegar in it." That's just going to attract more flies.
Yeah.
Like you might trap those few, but like
there was like a brief moment in time where like at a place, I forget where I was working, but we would take little slices of watermelon and do that, and that used to work. And then it was almost like it's making it worse,
Right.
like but it would get
It's
everybody,
like,
it would
don't
get them
feed the
all in.
ducks.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I was just going to say
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Don't throw French fries out your car
Yeah.
near the
Yeah.
seagulls. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
your car's
but
going to be lit up with poop.
Yep.
yeah,
There's the poop.
there it is again. But no, the coffee thing. I've never heard of that before. That's
No,
got to
me
be.
neither. I might try that tonight.
And it worked. Just if
I
you
was
got an
gonna say, I'll
old,
try that tonight because I know some server's going to forget to dump the coffee down when she
Yeah.
leaves tonight.
but it's perfect because that's usually what happens. It's like the
Yeah.
last thing. It's like, oh shit, the coffee urn.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But then you just dump that coffee down, and it worked. It worked really, really well. I'm like, where'd you learn that? He's like, dude, I've been bartending for like 20 years.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
You know, it's stupid little tricks
He's
that
a
you learn.
fucking encyclopedia.
He really is.
Poor guys, check them out.
Yeah.
All right. Chris Cook would like to know what the tip-off percentage to the bar is where you guys work.
Oh,
I've done this one before. It's 10%.
of what though?
10%.
Wow.
10% of, so if the server on the floor at the end of her shift or his shift, 10% of what they made in tips goes to the bar. Because the bar.
So 10% of their tips.
Yep.
Okay.
Because the bar cuts the fruit, the bar makes the drinks, the bar takes out the trash, the bar does everything. The
Yeah.
servers come in, they fill ketchups, they wipe down their tables, and that's it. We
Yeah.
don't really have a lot of side work. So
Yeah.
10% of what they make in tips goes to the bar.
We do 5% of our beer, liquor, and wine sales.
Gotcha.
And that was actually, we just changed that too. So yeah, it's 5% of our beer, liquor, and wine. Because I think they were doing the tips thing for a while, but then we bumped up the prices of our food. So it's like, why would we tip the bartenders more just because we bumped up the price of our food?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
Like,
you're
it's not
still
like they
selling the
didn't-
same amount.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So, yeah, no, that's what we do.
We do 2% of sales.
Of overall
Total
sales.
sales.
Yeah, so I guess it's like, I mean, literally, so you're off of tips.
Yep.
I'm off of beer, liquor, and wine. You're off of total sales.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really like
It's all kind
completely
of
it's all,
different.
yeah, I know it's completely different. I guess it all just depends. I mean, there's other places that do more liquor sales than food sales, is more, and vice versa. Or, you know, maybe the servers do more work than the bartenders do at his place than your place. Like
Yep.
it's kind of really all depends, I guess.
It's a lot different. That's
Yeah.
great. I know I've never really heard. I've always just assumed everyone kind of did it the way we did.
Yeah.
It, but yeah, that's a really good question. Everywhere is really different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it all depends where you work.
Yeah, every single place that I've worked at in the last few years has been completely different from one another.
We're starting to screw around with tipping out the cooks too.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's just so hard to find good help back there, and
Mm-hmm.
they're working their fucking asses off. And you get we get a lot of big takeout orders for like offices in town, like banks and stuff like that. So you'll get like a $300 takeout order, and they don't always tip. And I get it; people have their stance on tipping on takeout. I understand that, but they'll come in and maybe leave a $30 tip on a $200 order, and then the server or the bartender who just
didn't do anything.
do anything, maybe
Takes
took the
it,
phone call
yeah.
and rang it in, didn't really do anything. Like I'm like, hey, throw the kitchen that money. Like you're gonna go home with 200 plus in your pocket. They're cooking your food all day,
Yeah.
all day. That
That's
takeout
true.
order, that one big takeout order, that $30, like split between two chefs, that $15 is gonna make their day. Like, they're gonna be like, it's
Absolutely.
off the books, it's
Yeah.
whatever, you know, like.
That's
Buys
a
them
really
some shit
good,
beers or
yeah.
whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's just a little show of like, hey, like we recognize,
Appreciation, yeah.
yeah, like you take out our cardboard, you take out our trash, you cook
Yeah.
our food, and like do our dishes for us and all that. Like, yo, when we get a takeout order and we get a big takeout order tip, you get that. Like,
Yeah, that makes sense.
it's just a good way to experiment. It gets muddy when you start doing like the in-house people and you don't really know how to do it. But
Well, there's plenty of places. I don't think in Massachusetts, but I see like on any Facebook pages of any like servers or bartender pages that I have everywhere. They'll tip out, busser, hostess, bartender, kitchen. Like they do all across the board. And I guess it all depends on like the minimum wage in the state too.
right.
Like if you have a higher minimum wage for your server and your bartender, and they're making their tips plus like
big hourly.
like $8 an hour, then there probably money needs to be distributed a little bit better.
Yeah, it can't be a straight flat rate across the board.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
So
It might
It's
go
all
in
over
that
the map.
You're starting to see some restaurants really mess with the kitchen thing. I think we're going to go in that direction in one way or another at some point, because it's just to the point now where if you think of it long-sighted, like if the kitchen feels like they're getting appreciated by the servers, they're going to make the food look better. They're going to take more care. They're going to be happier in general. So then the servers get better food to bring to their customers, and they're getting better tips because the food looks great.
Yeah.
And it's all this big circle of life. But if you got the kitchen like grumpy and 120 degrees, watching the server count $300 in tips at the end of the night, and they're going home with $15 an hour, then you know what I mean. That's that you see, especially with the popularity of people going out to eat these days.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a shift in culture there.
yeah, agreed.
Alrighty. So our next question comes from Caitlin Ambrose. Caitlin wants to know, what is your go-to hangover remedy when working?
When working.
Yes,
My
apparently
hair
she
of the
is
dog.
hungover as fuck. So
Yeah.
I love that meme you put up the other day of like
Pain
the
away.
Citrus Pain away.
I saw that and I was like, wow.
It was great because the time I was at work and one of my waitresses hung over and she's playing. So we don't even have like time to have. We just have this bullshit. I'm like, literally, that's the best thing you want right now. I'm like,
That's
pain
so
away. Like,
funny.
you're gonna feel great in a half hour.
Shout out Centos.
Yeah, pain away.
Pain away. Is
I don't
the
think
best.
I've ever done that.
Oh, it's the best.
It is legal meth.
Yeah,
It is. Let me tell you.
it's like hopped up Excedrin.
Yes, it's like
Oh.
Excedrin with extra caffeine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Your feet won't touch the floor.
Yep.
You'll feel better than you've ever felt, not only just during a hangover, but just in general.
Yeah.
I don't know what they put in this stuff besides meth, but
Besides
we
just straight
switched
up
over.
meth.
It was like a little over a year ago. We switched over to a Cintas first aid kit because you just want everything there when something happens. It's bad enough someone cuts themselves or is sick. You want something there to make them feel better so you can let the show go on. Granted, it's not like a 13-inch stitch or something like that, but
Yes, it is.
yeah, I'll still patch them up. And put them back to work.
Duct tape.
But this Cintas first aid kit has this shit called Pain Away, and it is basically an Excedrin knockoff. But they must not have the FDA expecting their stuff because
Yeah.
this shit is jet fuel.
Now, is Cintas nationwide? Or is
Yeah.
this-
Yeah,
I was
they're
gonna
worldwide.
say. Yeah, worldwide. Okay.
Yeah, based out of Cincinnati. I think that's where they get the name
Cintas,
Cintas
okay.
from. But yeah, they are worldwide, and I'm pretty sure across the board, especially in like chain restaurants, Cintas is like the go-to for first aid
Like
kits.
if I could buy that shit on Amazon, I would.
I bet you might be able to.
Have you
I
tried?
haven't looked. I just go over to Speedwell and take some.
And they come in. The thing that cracks me up is they come in these little foil envelopes, and there's two of them.
Yeah.
Who the fuck needs two?
I mean, depends on the
When
kind
you're
of
really
day you're
hungover,
having.
know,
when you're
exactly,
really hungover,
yeah.
I'll pop them out, drink a glass of soda water, and I'm and I feel.
And suddenly you're Madonna.
Yes. Ray of light.
Other than that,
Pedialyte.
we.
Bitters and ginger ale.
I'd see. I don't subscribe to that.
I'm not a huge bitters person,
Yeah.
so no. But Pedialyte's always the good way to go.
Yep.
I love
But
it.
her question was while you're working.
Yeah.
So like,
Bring
what if you
Pedialyte
don't?
to work?
Yeah, but I
I
mean,
can't
okay,
drink
but
at
what if
work.
you didn't? What if you were too hungover and you didn't think about
That's
that?
called
Think
being
about baby
poor
nights.
plans. For your
Yeah.
hangover. When you get to a certain age, you got to start planning on your
That's
life
true,
being
yeah.
terrible the next day.
Yeah,
Exactly.
if you're at a place where it's not like acceptable, like for you
Right.
to just like sneak in a quick drink or something. Like me, I'm at. We have laws at Speedwell, but if I
Except
have
when
a
you're drinking claws.
except when you're drinking claws, and that's a great hangover remedy. But it's great for everything.
Yikes.
But if you come in hungover to Speedwell as an employee, first of all, you're gonna get the disappointed dad talk from me. But then I'm gonna be like, well, you can't go home. So what do I got to
Well,
do?
yeah,
to get
what
you through
can we
this shit?
do?
So it'll be like if we have like a nice like Goza or like Rattler on draft, I'll be like, here, drink this. It's kind of like light and fruity, and it'll get you over the hump. But or here, let me crush up this Pain Away. Just snort that real quick.
We're gonna go cook this on a spoon.
Yeah. But you just want to get your staff back to work. But But yeah, if you're working at a place that might allow, like, I would just go for like a light wheat beer, something like that. Drink a lot of water, get yourself over that weird headache, sort of unmotivated hump by getting what Chris Martelli, the great Chris Martelli, calls the washer machine effect. You want to reactivate all that alcohol that's sitting in your stomach with a light beverage, mimosa, a 4.5% ABV Blue Moon like wheat beer or an Allagash White, and then just you'll feel a little.
Mimosas are key.
Yeah,
I think.
you feel a little warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah,
and then you can kind of get over the hump. You're gonna feel like shit at like 3:00 in the afternoon,
right? Because it's gonna come back full circle.
Yeah,
yeah,
and you boof the pain away.
This just sounds like an endless cycle of roller coaster.
And then go home and go to bed.
Yes, yeah,
and get some sleep because that's really what
it is. Yeah,
lack of sleep.
Yep.
Alrighty. Amber Thompson emails asking if we have any tips or tricks on taking the Serve Safe Manager's exam.
Do the online classes.
Do what Dan Mahoney did and just don't study and finish before everybody else and get a 97.
Goddamn right.
Oh, Dan, you're one of those assholes too.
Yeah.
You're one of those people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I legit, because me and Jess took the class when we both worked for BBC, and I was sitting next to her, and I just looked at her, I was like, fuck this test.
True story.
Wait, was it the booze one or the food one?
It was the food one.
Oh, the food one?
And
you got a 97?
97, yeah.
With no food.
You knew all
because the BBC implement doesn't have food.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you get a 97?
I don't know. But then it made me nervous when he was done. I'm like, I should be done too. I started like going faster.
So you know about like Shigella and botulism and...
Well, we went through the whole, like they did the class.
They did do a class.
They did do it. And then we took a test.
I thought you went into this thing
straight no, I didn't walk.
Yeah, but
I took a full semester course.
Do you really think that Dan Mahoney paid attention through the class?
You had to have.
No.
There's no freaking
I was sitting next to him.
But
He did not pay attention.
Some people just know shit and test well.
There's no way.
Dude, it's hard.
No one knows this
My
shit.
witness right here.
It's hard.
You watched.
Like mine.
I fucking stared at the wall.
Yeah, it's true.
I
It's
took
very
2
true.
semesters of sanitation when I was in college, and I passed when I did that because I had the classes because you had to take the Serve Safe at the end of it. So every 5 years you got to renew. So when Speedwell opened, mine expired November of that year, so I had to do it again. And I went into it like same way as you, like I took a freaking 2-semester class on this. They changed so much over the course of 5 years. I went and I failed by like 1 question, so it's not too bad. I got like a 71 or something. It was just under where I need to get. I had to go back, so I paid $100 to fail. Paid another $100 to take the online class. Went back, got a 97. But and it's funny.
Second time's the charm, George.
I hung my test results on the wall. They're all the licenses because I want everybody to know how good I did. They don't know I failed the first.
Right?
time.
Yeah. No, they
I'm
do
actually
know that.
due again this year, so I like
I was
this
just about
question.
to say I'm due next year, and I'm like mortified.
Yeah.
like,
I remember
mortified.
walking out of there and just texting our boss, I'm like, hey, I failed that test.
Yeah. And then
Like, just
everybody
so you
got
know.
their results back, and immediately I
Fuck,
texted
there are
Dan.
like essay questions. How the hell did you get a 97 if
I
you
don't
didn't
know.
study?
Listen, man, I just didn't care.
It's
And
true.
You're in the wrong business. Get the fuck out of here. Go
He's
get
obviously
He
in
was-
the right business. He knows
he got
this.
Yeah. He
You
got
got a
done
very good
before
test
me,
there.
so much to the point he was sitting in the car, like, waiting
'cause I
for
drove
me.
Jess.
Because we drove together.
What the fuck?
I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm out of here. I'm done with this.
I
I'm gonna
will
go
say,
sit
though, I
outside.
cared too
impressed.
much that I was nervous, and I second-guessed myself a lot. I will say that. I will say that.
Well, I think that's part of it.
So don't give
You
a
go
fuck
into
and you'll
it
be
it's
fine.
like, if you don't care, you're not going to second guess. It's like, well, this is the answer. If I fail, I fail.
Right.
That's because I didn't give a fuck if I failed.
Right.
Right.
Well, because you didn't have
I
food
didn't-
in your
I don't have food,
establishment.
like,
You
I
had
don't even know why I
Fritos
was
and
there taking
Doritos.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
I wanted those Fritos that are perfect 62
temperature,
degrees.
yeah.
goddamn. Right? Basement temperature Fritos.
Yeah.
You know what though? Did it pay off now that you're over at the place in Southie? Like,
No, they don't give a fuck. Someone else has done that. We
I was
have-
trying.
Okay, my
trying.
slip is hanging up on the wall, but
Right.
I was like, I have my Serve Safe. It's like, all right, cool.
we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's all about the mafia in Southie. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I know,
You
right?
are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just pay your protection money and
Yeah.
But I'm sure it helps me on other, like, in my many job interviews that
Yeah.
will
Right,
someday
to have this
put me over the edge about
certification,
someone
yeah.
else, so.
It's all valuable information. It's a little
Yeah.
it's a little convoluted. It's a little hyper detailed. Like I don't even think
Super,
Shigella even exists anymore. That's like polio. But
No, but they did cover it. I remember that.
Yeah. Botulism. I
Yeah.
remember.
Yep,
was
I
a very
remember that
big
too.
one. But
I mean, but you do have to study your ass off. I guess that's the answer to the question.
yeah,
Except if
study.
you Dan
Except,
Mahoney.
except
Unless
for
your
Dan
name is
Mahoney.
Dan Mahoney, please take the online course.
Yeah.
It costs money, but you won't have to take it twice. I wasted so much money by not doing that.
I don't even think I brought a pen to that thing or a
You
pencil
didn't.
or
Like, I
whatever.
busted out
Would
a
you
notebook.
fucking do it in blood?
I know.
No, he literally
had to
didn't
be
bring
like,
anything.
can I have a pen?
He didn't bring
You're like
anything.
Bart Simpson at the
Just
fucking.
fucking walked in, put my feet up on the desk. We sat front row too, which was the worst.
That was the worst.
Because then I had to pretend to pay attention.
And I think they
Oh
asked
my
you a few
God.
questions. You were like, I don't know.
Or did I?
Yeah. Apparently you did. So,
Carl, how about you? If you had to take the serve safe, what would you do?
I'd flunk it.
Yeah, all right, cool. We're all on the same page.
all right.
Except for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so Stephanie Carter emails, and she would like to know what is the weirdest thing a customer has brought in with them to your restaurant. She's been doing this for a few years. She had one guy bringing his own ketchup.
I've seen that.
Because
Yeah.
No.
why?
Nosh used to make their own ketchup.
Yeah, that's true.
And people would bring their own in because Mike
Yeah,
was
because
very
they didn't like
adamant.
them. Yeah,
Because they didn't serve Heinz.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but the nauseous ketchup was.
We had a guy bring in a baby rabbit.
I know, but people. Yeah,
For
right.
you to go, like for dinner.
Nothing sets off the flavor of a steak quite like some ketchup.
He sat at the bar with a baby rabbit and was trying to hit on the women, saying, "Hey,
A baby rabbit?
That really happened?
would you call it a bunny? A bunny?
Yeah, bunny. Baby rabbit. Yeah.
It was alive."
It was well, thank
So,
God.
that'd be even more fucked up. He's talking about just baby rabbit.
See that with dogs a
Oh
lot.
God. Yeah. Yeah.
No, the
Weirdest
strangest thing.
I know. I can't even.
Someone came in with a full cardboard cutout of Karl Heine once.
Actually, twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people smuggling animals. Yeah, for sure.
I thought this lady was smuggling animals, but
She was smuggling something
she was
else.
just a big lady.
So I'm bartending one day, and this guy comes in, and he's got a trench coat on. He sits at the bar.
Oh, God.
And he, comes in, and I'm like, "Hey, man, what can I get for you?" And he just holds up a finger, like, to my face, and he reaches into his pocket, and he drops this little mini, like, grand piano on the bar. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, why has he got a grand piano? And, like, what's that about? And he just goes, puts out his finger, says, 1 minute, again. So he pulls out from his other pocket this little man. And it couldn't have been bigger than maybe 9 inches tall. This little man. And this man just starts playing the piano, and I'm like,
A live man?
okay, that's cool, man. Yeah, it's live man. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. And I was like, what's this about? And he's like, oh, I made a wish, and this is what I got. And I'm like, oh, all right. He's like, do you want to make a wish too? So he gives me a genie lamp, and I'm like, all right, I'll make a wish. So I rub the lamp, and all of a sudden, there's freaking deer everywhere, all over the bar, knocking shit over tables, everything. And I'm like, what the hell, man? That's not what I wished for. He's like, yeah, do you think I wished for a 9-inch pianist?
I didn't know we were doing jokes.
I know, right? Yeah. That's
all I had.
That's a whole nother episode right there. There's a whole nother episode.
I wish for $1 million.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah, I can't think of anything over the top besides bringing your own booze in. That's not weird. It's just
I
being a
know. That's
dickhead.
just, that's just being a dick, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have. I feel like there are ones. I'm like, after this, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah,
I know,
should have
right?
told that story.
I do know that one of the bartenders over at T-Bone's now, Will. Do you guys know Will? I'm not sure.
We
if
don't
you guys know
mention
him.
names.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we do.
we did.
Oh, we did?
We
That-
have been.
that just happened.
We said Karl Heine like 30 times.
He told me a story about how, like, when he used to bartend down in Miami, that somebody had, like, brought a gun and, like, dropped it on the bar. Yeah.
Pirate
That's-
sword, Pirate Donnie, pirate sword.
Wait,
We had
what?
to kick a guy out. Yeah, we have this guy who was like, if you ever watch Dodgeball, there's like the pirate
Mm-hmm.
guy. This guy is that guy. He's Pirate Donnie. Everybody knows him as
Pirate
Pirate
Steve?
Donnie. He dresses like a pirate year round. His breath stinks like they didn't invent toothbrushes yet. And
Like
he's kind of a shithead. But
And
they
he brought in
have
a
this.
sword?
He brought in a fucking real pirate sword. Like a real pirate sword. And it was like part of his costume. So he didn't understand why we were like, yo, you can't have that giant scimitar in Speedwell right now.
Sorry, check the weapons at the door, please.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
dude,
yeah.
this guy legit. And then I think I've told the story before when that same pirate affiliate, so it was a pub crawl of all pirates, and they tried paying me in silver, and their way of doing that was dumping a cloth bag of silverware on the bar. Yard, you take silver. And we were so short on silverware at the time, I'd say yes.
Yes.
We sure do.
That
Yeah,
and
we
$20 get you another beer.
Yeah,
yeah.
we still have some of that silverware. It pops up once in a while, like, wow, this is a heavy piece of silverware. Like, oh yeah, that's from the pirates.
That's for the pirate.
From
Yeah,
Donnie.
yeah,
Yeah.
Pirate Donnie.
Yeah.
He sent me. He got my card from the bar and wrote and like sent me a voicemail the next day. I don't understand. I bring my sword everywhere. Da, 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 da. Yeah,
Comes
pirate
anywhere
sword.
I
That's
go.
my answer.
Yeah.
Besides the
I
9-inch
mean,
pianist.
Right.
I think someone brought in one of those like lanterns like what I think they
Like
do
the old Prospector?
Yeah, and I was like, it had like fire in it. And I was like, dude, you can't have that in there. He was like,
Ah.
well, I'm like doing this memorial for like my dead person. I was like, I don't care. Like, you're
The
gonna-
blackout party's at T-Bone.
So-
Right, yeah.
They bought
that's
in a
the last
lantern
episode.
and it had fire in there. Was it like
it was like
in the middle in a
contained
little
fire?
ball?
Yeah.
It was like one of those
Like a
like
crystal
little
ball?
oil lamps almost.
Oh, an oil lamp. Okay.
Like,
I've been
but it
more
was not,
scared of
the
it's not
coyotes
safe to
if
be
I were
inside. Fucking.
Actually,
small
I
spot in the
actually I
universe.
remember this
Was it-
now.
Was it a candle?
No,
You never saw one of those oil lamps?
Yeah, I'm just asking what kind. Maybe it was a different kind.
not a candle.
You're gonna
It's an
you
oil
sound like the
lamp.
kind of guy that wants to know what kind of lamp you can bring into a bar.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Well,
cool.
obviously, you just don't want you rubbing my lamp, if you know what I mean.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Actually,
Nobody
now
was coming
3-inch
out.
piano.
I remember now two incidences at your place down at the BBC. One was a friend of mine brought a pineapple in, and he actually stole it from Speedwell.
Oh, my pineapple.
He
That's
took
what that
a
was?
pineapple,
Was it upside down?
and he it was sometimes it was, but he walked in with a pineapple, and I go, dude. Where did you get that? And he's like, oh, I needed one, so I asked Speedwell for a pineapple. And I was like, what? And he's just sat there at the bar with the pineapple in his hand the whole time. There's that one. And then there was another time I was at your place, and a guy walked in, and he had like a ceramic goose with a plastic horse head on it.
What the fuck?
I actually have a picture of it on my phone to this day. Yes.
Oh, dude, that's
It's
I
a
see you
ceramic.
did the same.
Yeah.
that's amazing.
You might
we
have
see
been
weird
there.
things. We see weird things on
All
like
the time.
either a pub crawl or right after a road run or something
Yeah.
like that. If it's themed,
Well, the guy with the horse head
But-
was just by himself.
yeah,
That's fucked up.
It was like,
he had a dead bunny in it.
We had the
Probably.
antique store across the street, and they always have their stuff outside the exchange. And there was this giant, like, camel statue out there for the longest time. And we had a guy that sat at the bar and drank all afternoon and was like, I'm going to buy that camel. I'm going to buy that camel. I'm going to buy that camel. And by, like, 3 hours in, he went across the street, bought it, and brought it back in and had the camel on the side of him at the bar. So
How
we had
big-
a giant camel.
Was
I was about
One
to say,
hump
how
or
big
two?
was this
It
camel?
was one hump,
A one hump.
It wasn't a two-humper?
not a two-humper. Might be now. I don't know.
Grew in a
I don't know if he got lucky that night with that camel. Safe to say, that I think that was the last day that guy drank. I've been takeout all the time now, and I'm like, still got the camel? He's like, yeah, man. And he lost like 100 pounds and doesn't drink anymore, but I won't name him.
You got
He's a
one
local
more
guy.
camel and one less wife.
I guess that's our contribution to that.
Okay, so last call.
Oh, wow, that went
Wow.
by really
Yeah.
fast. All right, last call is the portion of the show where we don't necessarily have to talk about the subject we talked about today, which has kind of been all over the place anyway, but we plug whatever we want, say whatever we have on our mind. So for this portion, I'm going to kick it over to Karl Heine because you never know he's going to just abruptly leave for 30 minutes.
Listen, did you miss me?
A little bit.
Yeah, thanks.
Kind of it.
No, hey guys, come on down to Plymouth Center. A lot of great food, great people, great music. Come on down to the New World Tavern anytime and buy me a beer.
That
Fantastic.
should be working.
Yeah.
Right.
And
All
he's
right, why
not
not-
over.
Let's go counterclockwise. We'll go to Jess.
Yeah, so this is just over the Jetty in Marshfield. We got a lot of live entertainment that we do every week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So there's always a good time. There's always good music. We're right on the water, right on the beach. So as soon as you get your summer tan on, you can always come in and get a drink and listen to live music. And that's my little plug, I
Hell
guess.
yeah. Well, I'm Jordan Shab from the Speedwell Tavern. I got my summer pail on and my dirty mustache. And if you
Dirty
want to come
Sanchez.
see what that looks like, come by the Speedwell Tavern on 47 Main Street in Plymouth. We just got voted best South Shore Living's best bar in South Shore
Nice.
and Plymouth, both, so regional and local, which is humbling, and I don't know why we won, but I'll take it. So if you want to figure out what's the best about Speedwell besides my dirty mustache and pale skin, come by 47 Main Street, Plymouth, Mass. We're on the side of San Diego's, been mentioned a couple times in the show, and we're right in front of and on the side of BBC, which has also been mentioned a couple times in the show. And speaking of, I'll kick it over to Dan, formerly of the BBC.
Well, you know now you have to keep this mustache.
Oh, I
because
know. Till things
this
get
podcast
better.
hasn't come out for a little while. but
I said I'm going to keep it till things get better. That's what I told my wife.
it's
So-
never gonna get better.
I was going to
It's
say,
only-
what
it's only
things?
downhill
What
from here.
things are getting better?
So here we go.
I mean, I have nothing to report on my end, so I think you should take time to go look at Carl's Facebook videos telling about what's on his menu because I've enjoyed them. They're very entertaining to see what's going on in Carl's minds
Every Friday
Video
at 12,
phone.
right?
Yep.
Every Friday at 12. I'm an interweb sensation.
It's famous. But yeah, that's all I got.
Fish, anything?
Not really, but I guess I'll just thank the craft beer seller for hosting us again today.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
I don't do this. Don't give me the mic.
No, you're doing a great job.
It's not my job.
Craft beer cellar, located right on Main Street as well. They're a couple doors down from Speedwell, BBC, San Diego's, Main Street Sports. Tons of beer. You can make your own
New World
six-pack.
Tavern. I got you.
Yep, New World, across the street from New World Tavern.
All the main things in Plymouth are on Main Street.
This is true, baby.
Yep.
So yeah, thank you once again for Craft Beer Cellar for having us. Thank you, Fish and Inebriart, for as always producing this podcast and dragging me out of Speedwell to make sure I show up. You can find us at Bar Talkcast on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can shoot us some more hate mail at bartalkcast@gmail.com. We promise we will catch up and get to all of your questions. We really appreciate them. Thank you once again, Jess Hamill, for being here from the Jetty. Karl, you were here for 10 minutes. Jenna Heine, it was an honor and a pleasure. Thank you for being here. And Dan Mahoney, as always. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks for checking out the podcast. And don't forget to check out our other podcasts on the Inebriart Podcast Network. There's the Bar Talk. There's Old Colony Cast. There's, of course, the Inebriart Podcast. And our latest, Retro Redoctopus, a kind of nerd genre podcast that you can check out now, all available on our website at inebri-art.com. And pretty much available everywhere that podcasts are available, on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, all those things. And if you don't see it where you're looking, let us know. We'll try to get onto that as well. And you can also email us at inebriart@yahoo.com with your questions, complaints, and suggestions. And also, if you could take the time to rate and review us on iTunes, that would be phenomenal. That helps us get more exposure and bring more of these great podcasts to your ears. And thanks again for listening.